Hey, folks, coming to you live from at Fort William, Scotland, and well, maybe not live by Memorex, I guess you might say. And so I wanted to just briefly talk with you about a couple things, preparing you for today's exercise. So first, I think I'm probably the last person to do new and goods. So let's do a couple of new and goods real quick. One, new and good. I'm driving on the left side of the road and I'm getting good at it. The roads here are very narrow. There are no shoulders whatsoever, uh, and um, and and you drive on the wrong side. And so I'm getting used to it. I am thankful that the police here are very kind. I did get pulled over once. They had to give me a a breathalyzer test to make sure I wasn't drunk. Of course, I wasn't. And But they were so very kind, which is really amazing. The folks here are very. I'll tell you, the Scottish folks are exceptionally kind. It's. I'm just really floored at how kind folks are. So, so that's one. Two, um, I got to visit my my land that we own here. Deb and I, a few years back, I think it was 2020, Christmas 2021. I decided to splurge and I bought land in Scotland, 2 square feet of land, one for my wife and one for me, and they gave us a bonus 5 square feet of land in another location for me and for her. So we own 11 or 12 whole square feet of land in Scotland. That makes us lords and ladies, you know. And so I visited both plots, and the 1 square foot plot that was all right. That was all right. It's a nature preserve, and they're returning the land to they're returning the forest back to native trees so that the native annual animals feel comfortable about being there still, because it's pretty amazing, the deforestation here in Scotland, and then also how it's been taken over by non-indigenous species. So anyhow, that's what they're doing. But the second piece we went to today, and I'm going to tell you something. It's amazing. I wish I could live on 10 square feet of land. I would actually live there. The space is well, right now it's in the middle of the woods, and about 100 feet in towards the wood into the woods. Um, and But when you step out of the woods to where to where, well, far enough down so you can see out, about 550 square feet, 50 feet or so from where my land is. Um, it is the most amazing view. Most amazing view. It's beautiful. You see there's a lock down below. You see these huge mountains. It's just beautiful. It is just beautiful. I Again, I wish I could live there, but it's only 10 square feet of land, and so can't do that. But those are my two new and goods for you. And so let's talk real quick about what we have to do today. You're working on outcomes. A couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, we looked at the outcome orientation and the problem orientation. If you recall, the problem was focused on problems. The problems bring about anxiety. They bring about negative emotions, possibly anger, depression, those kinds of things, and frustration. We're going to call it anxiety. And there's a reaction that comes as a result of that. And that reaction could be a couple different kinds, and we talked about that. Okay. And the thing about it is that we call it a FISB. The focus is on the problem, the inner state is an anxiety, and the behavior is a reaction. And the thing about it is that when you're in a problem orientation, and that problem is your focus, you feel like you're trying to solve the problem, but the reality of it is you're solving the inner state, the negative feelings, the anxiety. And so over time, nothing gets done. The problems really are not solved. In a way that is not that is sustainable. And so that's the problem orientation. The other one was the outcome orientation. In the outcome orientation, we focus on the outcomes. Okay. And an outcome orientation is driven by our passion, how much we really want our outcomes. An outcome is what we want. What do we want to see? What do we want to be? What do we want to have? Those kinds of things, not the negative of it. I don't want to have a problem. It is, what do I want? What do I want? And to say I don't want the problem is not saying what you want. What you want is something different than that. And but what is it? And it's got to be something that you're passionate about, that you really makes a difference to you, that gets your energy going, that you want to do something about it. And what you do about it, the behavior that comes out of it is what we call baby steps, which is the next step you take toward accomplishing the outcome. And so today we're going to focus on creating some outcomes. And that's what we're asking you to do. So let me give you an example about outcomes, okay? One, let's talk about Common Heart, okay? And the outcomes, by the way, the outcomes you're going to be creating have to do with your departments. You'll be working together with the leadership team and the leader of your department, and you guys will be coming up with some outcomes for your departments, okay? And remember, it's not problems that you want to fix, it's outcomes you want to create. That's the difference. It's the outcome you want to create. So when I think about Common Heart, our outcomes that we have for Common Heart are based in our vision and in our mission and in our core values. They're in all of those places. Let's talk about a couple of them real quick, okay? One is that we want to see a small revolution of kindness. That's what we want, a small revolution of kindness. What is a small revolution of kindness? Small revolution of kindness is where our community is transformed by the power of love, by appreciation, by concern and acting on it, by being there for your neighbor, by listening, by talking and sharing, not arguing and getting all agitated, but being there and truly loving your neighbor. I just shared with you an outcome. It was that whole piece that I just shared with you. It's not just a statement about a small revolution of kindness, but what is a small revolution of kindness? What will it look like when I have it? I will know the small revolution of kindness takes place when our neighbors talk to each other. Okay, when we don't sit there and argue all the time, when we are looking to understand each other. Okay, when the needs that I see you have, I help meet those needs. And same with my neighbor. When they see needs that I have, they would help meet my needs. Okay, we would be there for each other. That's what I'm looking for. That's an outcome. Now, that's a pretty big outcome. That's a transformational, huge outcome. This small revolution of kindness. Another one is found in our eradicating food insecurity and eliminating generational poverty. Those two there. When I think about those, those are stated kind of in the negative. Okay, they're dealing with problems. We're going to get rid of the problem of food insecurity. We're going to get rid of the problem of generational poverty. So what is it we want? Okay, so we want to see, again, putting it back in with a community revolutionized by kindness where everybody has all the food they need. Nutritious diet, they're growing strong. They have what the building blocks to be able to, they get enough nutrition and vitamins so that they think, they can act in our community, and they can have everything they need. That children will go to bed satisfied. They will have a great night's sleep, and in the morning there won't be. There's some negative in here. You won't have we won't have the parents worried about having food, but they will just have what they need. Now, that's the key part there, having what they need. And what they need is food. And even more than that, truthfully, when I think about eradicating food insecurity, I envision the second piece too, which is eliminating generational poverty, where everybody is able to have all the resources that they need in order to fully engage in our community, where they have food enough, where they have income enough, where they have social connections enough, where they have mental stability, health wise, where they also have so what I'm looking for, cognitive abilities that they need, that they have physical strength, so that they would have all the resources they need to participate fully in our community and give of themselves in our community. To me, that is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a community where people are engaged with each other and they love each other, fellowship of kindness, where they have all the food and basic necessities that they need in order to achieve and to grow and to participate, and that they have all the resources that they need in order to accomplish good things in the community, be fully engaged in every good work in our community. To me, that's what we're talking about here. Now, I'm doing that off the cuff, and I need to give a little more thought process to seeing that. But those are what we might call, those are like the big picture passion things, I can get around those things myself, and that's the kind of way I think. Okay. And so as a result, I'll take those things and I will start to break them down. Okay. My mine still tend to be big picture kind of things, because that's the kind of guy I am. So one of them was, when I think about Common Heart, what is it that I want Common Heart to be? And so one of the things, when I did this a few years ago, we were having lots of struggles. There was just a lot of struggles, a lot of dissension, a lot of gossiping, a lot of, you guys wouldn't even recognize the place. It's very different today than it was back in those days. And truthfully, I was so reactive, and I was just all of us were, with what's going on. So I said, I need to become outcome focused. And so I came up and I said, what is my outcome I'm looking for? I'm looking for to have a peaceful, collaborative, engaged work environment focused on being kind to each other and accomplishing our mission. That's what that became my outcome. And I began to work toward it. Some of the things that I did in order to work toward it was there were some things that had to be taken care of, solving problems in service of the outcome. But there were also things I did proactively, like we got together a group of people who worked on what the core values are today, which core values, again, are oftentimes an outcome as well. Okay, they're a statement of who we are currently, but they tend to be even bigger than that, where it's also who we desire to be and what we desire, how we desire to interact with folks. Okay, so we got together and we worked on that. We created things like the how we doing meetings. Okay, we are working on ideas relating to creating more engaged coaching. Those kinds of things. So anyhow, thank you so much. Hopefully you got what you need.